Hi, welcome to this video. Reddit user Drunkenknight9 posted his game and he would like some feedback, so I will give it to him in this video. So let's go over to Lichess where I have uploaded the game, and the Reddit user started out with e4. A good move to play. e4 or d4 are really great moves to start to learn the game with. e4 is probably the best move for amateurs to start out with. And well, we have some theory being played, and the user remarks that he knows some of these lines very well, and this Rossolimo attack is something he has seen before. And well, of course, the knight c6 move is called the Sveshnikov. This is not so important to remember, but for those opening lovers out there. And the bishop b5 move is called the Rossolimo attack. I will turn off the arrows right here given by Lichess, so as not to distract us from what is happening on the board. Queen b6 was played, and after knight c3, a logical move, we see that white is developing his minor pieces effectively into good squares. For instance, these knights are placed very well, and this bishop is also actively placed. In this opening, usually it is an idea to capture on c6 and try to make a double pawn, but in this case, as black has brought out his queen early, he aims to recapture on c6 with his queen and prevent the doubling of the pawns. So of course it has a certain advantage, but at the same time it costs some time and does not develop other pieces. a6, and now perhaps a weird move. Usually when you place a bishop on a square where it attacks the knight, you only want to capture if provoked by, for instance, in this case, a move like a6. But now Drunken Knight captured on c6, and this is a very logical move to play, because if white would have waited, let's say another logical move is castles. Then black can play knight ge7, and well, now black can recapture his knight with his other knight instead of having to move his queen another time. And well, I think this was a reason why white did not play that. It seems like castling is a good move as well, but alright, I understand why he did it this way. Black played what he intended to, and after d4, yeah, we have this very standard position in the Sicilian, and black has to move his queen again. So this opening has been very much successful for white, and well, white gains some space on the queen side and also attacks the queen, which forces the queen to move yet again. So if we count that up, we see that the queen has moved 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So out of these first 10 moves, the queen has moved 4 times, so that can be really good. If you look at this position, you see that white is castled, he's brought out 2 pieces, his rook is pretty active. Yeah, even though black has the bishop pair, and yeah, he does not have that many weaknesses in his camp. Well, there are some weaknesses, and we will see how white exploits that later on. But we see that yeah, black is just doing very badly here, because being behind in development this much is going to put a lot of pressure on him, because white can just mobilize his forces against different points in black's camp very quickly, and without your own forces out, defending against that is pretty difficult. So black is now faced with a choice. He can take on b2, or he can try to play a developing move. And black seeing that he's not doing that well, decided to capture on b2, which is a blunder. But we will see why, because the red user exploits it very handily. There is a saying often used in chess that the queen who takes on b sleeps on the street. And in this case, it's very much true again. This is also somewhat reminiscent of different poisoned pawn variations in some Najdorf Sicilians, and there are also some French variations where this queen moves a lot of times and even wins a pawn, but it comes at a great cost. And in the French and the Najdorf, well, it is up for debate whether it's sound or not, but in this opening, it's definitely not sound. White handily uses the position of the queen to maneuver his knight into the great square b6, where it does a lot of things. It takes a look at a couple of squares, but one of the most direct things it does is take a look at the a8 rook, which has to move. And, well, white is maintaining an enormous initiative. And white keeps on playing attacking moves and keeps on forcing the black queen to move. And now with rook c4, he's really putting some pressure on once again. And he's forcing king d8 practically. So here our user finds a great tactic, and if you're not on Reddit and you haven't seen the game yet, this is a great point to try to analyze the position yourself and try to find the killer move. And okay, so I'll give you a few moments to pause the video and try to find that. So I'll continue, and I hope you found this wonderful idea. It's great that Drunken Knight found this. Bishop f4, and after the forking move e5, white insists that black takes his bishop. Let's go back for a quick moment. What happens if black takes here? Well, then it's mate in 3, because white can take here, and after a discovery, white can put in his knight with checkmate. So to avoid that, black forked, tried to put something in between, but still the same pattern is possible. And once again, we have this really cute checkmate, and it really looks like a game of Paul Morphy's. It just these great sacrifices, giving up so much material, exploiting the lack of development, and eventually delivering such a beautiful checkmate. I do have, yes, Reddit user asked some feedback, some basic points. He asked a couple of questions and talked about style, for instance. So I have a couple of things I wrote down and want to say a few words about. First of all, is something on styles, as the Reddit user said that there is something about this game which was weird to him, as it was so much about sacrifices and, well, tactical play. And I reading a bit into that, I hear this a lot from players where they say, well, I'm positional, or no, I'm more tactical. And, well, mainly it's just about finding the best moves, and there are some opportunities, often for instance in opening, where you can really play according to a style, and you have moments wherein you have different choices, where you have 3 choices, all equally good. Then really style and personality and your own choice come into play. But usually the best move, the second best move, is what is played by the top players. It is irrelevant what their style is. And, well, I wrote in between brackets that this is irrelevant for amateurs, but it is really most chess moves. The best moves, or the best practical moves, are the moves which are played by everyone, regardless of style. And well, the second thing I want to say about this game is that it really shows the value of tactical training. If we look at bishop f4, for instance, finding these moves, okay, moves up till here were somewhat logical, where you gain so much time on all these pieces and you set up threats. But finding bishop f4 and the following ideas, that just goes to show that you've spent some time with tactics training. And well, you see how valuable that is here. And I want to congratulate you on playing such a beautiful game. I've put it into Lichess, as I said, and Lichess does an automatic analysis. I don't know if you can see it right here. I'll extend these markers for a bit. Yeah, okay, so I changed where the screen is now, and you see that, well, you have 4 average centipawn loss and no inaccuracies, no mistakes, no blunders. This is just a brilliant performance, literally. Well, figuratively, actually, but yeah, a brilliant performance regardless. So that's absolutely great. Yeah, the last thing I want to say is that I advise you to post games on Reddit which you lose. And well, this is because the games you lose you can learn so much more from than the games you win. I agree that this is a really spectacular game to show, and that you're really proud of it, and you should be. But getting the help of other people on Reddit or wherever is probably most helpful, most beneficial if you post the games you lose, which is a difficult thing to do. Sometimes you might be even embarrassed, but yeah, you probably have to do it if you want to improve. It's one of the best ways, to be honest. So yeah, once again, let's go back. Bishop f4, probably the star move of the game. Well, Drunken Knight, excellent game, and well, goodbye for now.